Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at set number 31165, the Lego Creator Panda Family. So this one was a really interesting set since I haven't gotten, many interesting ones in the past few months because they all the builds didn't seem that interesting, or, they just seemed to be aimed towards kids. And a majority of, Lego now, it's a lot of adults. So or a lot more older people, so getting builds like this, it makes it much more enjoyable. So yeah, the first one being the panda, obviously, because the set name is called Panda Family. I had a really great time building this because it had a lot of interesting techniques, and it just makes me wonder how someone even thought about building something like this. So there's nothing too much in terms of features or anything like that, but it's just a simple display piece. So let's first obviously take a look at the smallest one. This one's just, a little bamboo build that you were able to, see. It does also have a little bit of articulation as well. One bamboo stick, it's on a ball joint, so you can move it or position it however you want. And this one is in place, so you can't really do anything with it. The other two over here are more like bamboo leaves, I guess. And you can at least position these in whichever way you would like. And there's two flower builds also on this side. So let's first take a look at the mini panda. This one also, again, was really impressed with the articulation. It has a lot of moving pieces, more than I expected. So the legs over here can, obviously push out all the way out like this. You can make it do a split basically. And for the arms, you can do it up and down. You can move it like that. And it also has holes on both. So you can make it hold a bamboo stick like it has over here. You can even switch it on the other hand if you'd like. Or you can put something completely different that if you had any extra pieces lying around or something, you can put whatever you want. That you can attach over here. I really like the detail for the paws over here, with a different peach color that we usually don't get for tiles. And the ears are also surprisingly a little bit movable. You can move them, side to side like this. And you can also move the head. This one has got full movement over here. You can move it however you want. And it just makes it feel a little bit more realistic rather than just keeping it as a display piece, like I said before. And now that we took a look at the mini panda, let's look at the big, the actual panda. This was a really fun build because of all the tile pieces, the new tile pieces that we get, to just make it look like an actual panda. Because usually there's, studs showing, and, some builds just have too much of that showing. But over here, you get a sort of a panda feel. It makes it look like you have a little mini panda in your hand. And more than the small baby panda, this one has a lot more movability. This arm, this one is also on a ball joint. And you can turn the palm over here like this. And again, just like the mini panda where you can just, put a little, I forgot, a pole piece. This one, it has a little technique pin that you can, switch hands for as well, just like the small one. And over here, unlike, this mini panda, you can actually move the actual panda's mouth like this and pose it however you want it to give it a bit more feature and make it look like it's, again, alive. And you can move the head around as well. And this one is also another, I forgot, it's like another ball joint. And the ears can also move as well, a little bit. And the legs, you obviously don't have the panda in a standing position. You can only have it in a sitting position, but even when it's sitting, you can have a lot of posability. You can do it within 90 degrees as well, and pose it however you'd like to, again, give it more feel and expression to make it look like it's, real. And yeah, that is the panda family. Now let's take a look at the penguin one. And here we have the penguin family. So this one, compared to the panda family, doesn't really have a lot of posability because obviously penguins themselves don't really have a lot of mobility themselves compared to pandas or any other type of animal. and it's built accordingly as well, with the design. And again, since it's a 3-in-1 set, you basically have all the pieces that you can use for all 3 models. So I think it's always really nice to see a group of pieces or a set of pieces being used for 3 different sets or models. So let's first look at the mini penguin. So over here, with some of the pieces, they were obviously hidden in the panda itself. So you got these teal colored bricks, and instead of that being inside, you know, another build, now it's being used as ice. And you get a little display that they give over here, and 1x2 half dome tile with a stud on it. So that way the mini penguin, you know, can be placed over there. So the head obviously does not have too much movability. It's just on, you know, a stud, and you can just move it around. You can actually move it 360 if you want to, but the eyes don't move and the mouth doesn't move. But the only mobility you have is the feet that you can, you know, do outwards. But again, the feet can fall off really easily. And the only really, you know, flexible movement you get is the joints for the arms. And yeah, again, it does fall apart pretty easily, but the mini baby penguin isn't meant to really move around that much. But then you can just easily place it over here and just keep it like that. And now for the actual penguin, you get a lot more movability actually. Over here, as far as the head goes, you would think it would be stuck in place, but there's actually a place in the build where they leave enough space and room where you can, you know, move it up and down like this, or make it, you know, you can pose it in different ways. And also you got the flaps. This can also move, but it can't move past this because that's where, you know, the top part of the bricks are placed. And unlike the baby penguin where the feet, you know, fall off, this one is attached on some technique pins. So this one you get a little bit of movement, but obviously just to make it realistic, you can pose it like this. Penguins' flaps or feet don't really go, you know, anywhere more than probably this length. And the build of this was really, like, it wasn't too hard compared to the panda, but it was still really interesting nonetheless to see how the head was built and also the back. And yeah, so now let's take a look at the killer whale family. And here we have the killer whale family. Now for the panda family, that was the one that had an official name because that's the name of the set. But the penguin family and the killer whale family, they didn't have specific names. But obviously, just by looking at what the model or set is, these 2 different models, I just gave a name on its own. And this one we're just going to be calling killer whale family. So this one is more of a display piece compared to the other 2. The panda family, obviously that you can just like put around and, you know, keep it somewhere else. That's also, all the other 2 are display pieces as well, but this one is more of like, you know, it's more properly set as a display piece because it has these what is it called, rod pieces that they usually use in technique sets, and they also have these clear pull pieces. So this one you obviously cannot take and like play around on the ground or anything. If you want to, I guess kids can do it if they want to. But generally, this is just meant to be, you know, underwater. And I guess the background also fits for this whole vibe too. So there's not much like moving around because obviously they're sea animals. But even if they are sea animals, they do have a little bit of movability. So before we do though, we'll take a look at the models or the sea models first. I can't really take this off, but this is what it was meant to be. You have this, and that's supposed to attach to the bottom of this, and they have a lot of detail put into this, again using the pieces that are in disposal from the other 2 sets. The way they always have a new way to, you know, use it in different ways and put it for different types of scenery, I guess, is really nice, because these pieces were used for bamboo in the panda set, and now they've been repurposed as kelp. So I found that really interesting. And this fell off, but I think this is meant to be like another urchin, sea urchin. And also you have this on a clip, and this is meant to be like whatever fish, and you can give it a little bit of movement as well. And this, I'm not sure, this might also be kelp. This one might be, yeah, I don't know. And this one is a little bit of coral, I guess, on this side. So that's what this display is for. So this one is more detailed for the bigger model. And the smaller one, obviously, even with the smaller one, they have put a lot of detail, as much as they could, because when you have a small baby fish or, you know, penguin, you can't really put too much detail as you can. But with the amount of detail that they could put, they did utilize it really well. You put the fin over here. It looks a bit like something should be added on here because it feels a bit empty with just a stud pointing on top. But you got the eyes over here, and then the fins can also move. They can't move up and down, actually. It's on a little, what is it called? Like a headlight piece, kind of. And it barely has any movability, but it can move side to side. That's the amount of movability that it has. And the fin can move up and down, or whatever position you want it to be. But again, unless you're a kid, especially this model, it's not meant to be played with, really. I guess if you have an imagination, again, if you're a kid, it would make sense. But if you're a lot older, it's more fit as a display piece. And again, you see another one of these fishes that are in between two of these poles. And now let's go to the bigger one. And again, compared to the baby versions of all these models, the bigger ones always have more flexibility and mobility. So over here you got it, the fin that can move on a clip, and these were built in 3 sections, so it has movability in 3 sections. You can move this part, which is this one, it's on a ball joint, I guess, and you got the big fin over here, and this middle part, and this one is on a bigger like bionicle joint, I guess, and this has a little bit more, you can move it up around. But from what I know, I think killer whales don't have like visible eyes. I think the white part is what's more on focus. So for me, it feels a bit weird that the eyes are showing over here. I might be wrong, but you know, whenever I see killer whales, obviously the main focus is this, and it always makes me think this is the eye instead. And then last, you got the opening mouth here. Obviously, I don't know if the inside of a killer whale's mouth is pink, like for the tongue or anything. I think they have different colored tongues. I'm not sure about all those types of details. But this is Lego, obviously. It's not supposed to be 100% accurate, but from what all these models have been, they have been really fun to build. And they've had interesting techniques to get to the point of what the model looks like, especially the panda. I think the panda is my favorite. You know, these ones were just mainly display pieces, but yeah, panda was the most fun, in my opinion. But overall, I think this is a really great set. I think if you really want to build something really fun, I think this would be a really good set to buy. But other than that, thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe.